welcome to this Nerdactyl podcast. This is our reaction to the PlayStation 5 reveal event, which has just finished about half an hour ago, or something like that. I'm your usual host, Scott, and today on the show we've got Ollie.
Hello there.
How are you, Ollie?
Yeah, all good. Speechless after that, but excited.
Same. Also speechless, but that's probably due to the sheer amount of alcohol that I've consumed in the last hour and a half. So
It's just any podcast, to be honest, man.
It's bad. Like, this podcast is really, really bad for my liver. Like, we're really bad. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So, PS5 reveal event. A bit weird because it was the first console reveal that I've seen that wasn't in front of a live studio audience. And
Yeah.
I feel that I missed that. You know, the content was really good. But the whole time I was just thinking, oh, I missed those moments where, you know, Nathan Drake steps out of the shadows and the crowd goes wild, or, you know, Kratos is revealed and people are cheering, or Final Fantasy VII remake is confirmed to be true and the crowd's going nuts. You know, just being an all digital thing, it just kind of, I missed that. You know, it still hit home,
Yeah.
but I missed it. How did you find the conference overall?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I think the start was great.
Yes.
The end was great, and then between a mixed bag would be the best way I could describe it.
Yeah, it felt like a bit of a shit sandwich, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, you started strong with your heavy hitters, you ended strong on a good note, and in between you had some more experimental indie stuff that it's not the type of thing that shows off the power of the console, but it also just kind of fills out with some padding. You know, hey, we got tons of interesting games coming to this as well. The way I think we're going to do this podcast is I've wrote down notes of just everything that happened in the event, and we'll go through, and, you know, if we've got anything to say, we will. And then at the end, we're going to finish with our highlight of the show. I think you and I, probably just from knowing each other, can guess what each other's highlight is already. But
Yeah, definitely.
Start off well with a nice little montage of the last gen, the outgoing PS4, probably the best library of games I think we've ever had. Nice,
Oh, absolutely.
Nice little voiceover, Nathan Drake, seeing some Horizon, some God of War, just really reminded you that, damn, PS4 was awesome. And then a bit of a weird start to the conference. GTA 5, more Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, that's the third generation that we've seen GTA 5 on now. Everyone's excited to see the new console, and you start it off GTA 5. It's like, okay, a 2013 game. Weird.
I think that's because people were expecting GTA 6. I know I was sort of wishful thinking,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's probably not anywhere near completed. So they were like, we'll put some GTA 5 in this, just to sort of sweeten it, even though, I mean, 7 years it came out. I mean, it's still a great game.
It is.
But I think that was their logic behind it. Just enhance the game that everyone loves, try and distract from the fact that you're not getting GTA 6.
Absolutely. It's still a popular game, still being played all the time. You know, I still play it. And it's another way that they can say, look, as soon as you transition over to this new console, you can continue to play a game that you know and love. And I'm glad that they had that and not Fortnite. You know, but yes, it feels like they Ryan Johnson this. They subverted our expectations. No GTA 6, but here's GTA 5.
It's okay though, because they didn't kill my childhood hero, so it's okay.
That's very true. They certainly didn't. First heavy hit of the night, the big one, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So surprised. Like in our wish list we did a while ago, it was like, I'd love to see another Spider-Man game. It's not going to happen though, because too soon after.
It's too early. Yeah, I was shocked. You know, that was my first reaction. Just I'm shocked, and I'm sitting thinking, damn, this is way too early. Last Spider-Man game came out not that long ago. You know,
2 years ago.
And I mean, I'm excited. It sounded good, and you have Peter Parker giving this passing the torch monologue, and I'm sitting going, this looks amazing. The actual gameplay, the swinging, the graphics looked unreal.
Yeah.
Looks like I trust Insomniac are going to have a great story. When I was watching it, I was going, oh God, it's too early to say goodbye to Peter Parker. You know, it feels like we spent a game building up Peter Parker, and now we're just going to have a full game about Miles Morales. But after looking up the internet after, that was the only thing I did look up after the conference. A lot of rumors. The only reason I looked it up was because Insomniac also revealed a new Ratchet and Clank. And I thought, how can you have Insomniac make Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man 2 at the same time? Now, something doesn't seem right here. So there's a lot of rumors flying around that Miles Morales is just like a standalone, almost like a DLC, like a side story.
Yeah, I was thinking that. They didn't get much away for the plot, so I assumed it's more of a DLC game.
It's coming this year, which is another giveaway that it can't be a full Spider-Man game. Like, I mean, it's coming this year. It's not like it's announced and there's no release date. Like it can't be a full length game.
I could be completely wrong here, but I feel like if it was a Spider-Man 2, it wouldn't be called Spider-Man Miles Morales. I feel like if you're putting the name, I mean, I'm probably completely wrong here, but I imagine it would be Marvel Spider-Man 2 or...
Yeah, I mean, the way it was called Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales makes you feel like it is just an extension of the original game. Don't know. It feels a bit like Uncharted had The Lost Legacy, which was a kind of an 8 to 12 hour kind of mini game, which was, you know, bigger than a DLC, but not quite, you know, Uncharted 5. It feels like it could be something like that, and I'm okay with that.
Spider-Man in any capacity is great.
Exactly. On to one of my wish list, which nearly came the way I wanted it, which is Gran Turismo 7. Graphics, unbelievable. We come to expect that of Gran Turismo now. Every time it comes out, it looks photoreal. I don't know how they can do it any better. Especially the lighting just looked incredible. I kind of was hoping they would use Gran Turismo to showcase VR. They didn't. You know, it just looks like another Gran Turismo. And that's it. It's a good way to start the conference because it shows off just how powerful PS5's graphics are. And, you know, fair enough. Gran Turismo, your type thing? Or?
I mean, it's a game I'd probably play with you, probably play with friends. As a single player, probably not so much. Yeah. That's just my own personal.
They showed like gameplay, but they just kind of showed like a couple of minutes of just a race, and it was like the middle of a race. It wasn't really like the start or the end. It was a bit, okay, this is dragging on a wee bit here now. Like it's Gran Turismo, we get the idea. Okay, so on to Ratchet and Clank, which very excited for that. Ratchet and Clank always been like just a really innovative platformer, great weapons and stuff, and then it had a reboot on PS4, and whenever the PS4 game came out, it looked like, people said it looked just like a Pixar movie, and it looked almost as good, but this new one, it's not far off.
Those graphics, the gameplay just looks incredible.
Yeah, and what was great was, obviously, you know, new console graphics are better, but it showed, like, gameplay showed off some amount of power that PS4 couldn't have done, which is, it spat portals almost, and like you were jumping through different levels almost. It was like levels within levels, and it's like, how is that loading up? How is it doing that? How are you able to jump from one level to another level instantly? It just
no lag time,
no lag, no loading, no anything. I thought that was a really smart way to show off the new power of the console. That wasn't just graphics, it was, here's actually what the new power can do gameplay wise. So will you be picking up Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, I feel like most of the games that came out I'll probably want to play.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we'll move sort of quicker through. We start to get onto a bit more just slightly more obscure games, more indie games, you know, so we'll rattle through them and just sort of stop at any that sound kind of interesting. So first up was a Square Enix one called Project Athia, which was like a dragon fantasy type game. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked right.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know more.
PlayStation sometimes has sort of games like this. Like there's one, Heavenly Sword, became a cult classic. It was the kind of a fantasy slasher game, and this type of thing came out, and people were like, "Yeah, that looks cool." Some people bought it. Later on, became a cult thing. But I don't think this game, Project Athia, if that's what it's going to be called, don't think it's going to light the world on fire. Next up, we had, oh yes, the robot Blade Runner type looking game where you played as a stray cat called Stray. Do you remember that?
Yeah, didn't know what was happening there when I was watching it.
It's quite interesting. I assume it's another indie game. I thought you played as a robot, maybe going about this kind of dystopian future, but then it was revealed that you actually play. I think you play as the cat. It's called Stray. It looked nice. Who knows if it'll catch on, if it'll be one of those indie games that everyone likes the look of and never actually plays. Okay, what else we got? Oh yes, then they went through the features of PS5, which is 4K Blu-ray Player, which very excited about. An SSD, ray tracing, controllers, haptic feedback. Oh yeah, I thought it was quite funny that one of the points, it stopped and it said USB slot on the controller, and it's like, wow, USB, built-in speaker, and then a headphone slot on the controller. You're blowing me away here, Sony. The next thing was interesting to me, which is they made a big deal about a new franchise coming, and it's from Housemarque. Housemarque, they're known for like their twin stick shooters and kind of like things. Have you played Resogun before?
Yeah.
Resogun, so it's it's a twin stick shooter. And then they do things like Matterfall, Alien, oh god, what's the other one called? Alienation. So to see them doing like a kind of a AAA Anthem style game that was interesting, and the shooting in it actually looked a bit twin sticky shooter. It looked like an alien game, a lot of sci-fi,
Yeah.
and that looks kind of nice. It was like the whole thing, death is no escape, and I think the girl kept dying and come back to life. That seemed to be a theme throughout the conference. What do you think of that?
Yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely a game I'm gonna have to pick up. The graphics and gameplay are beautiful.
Yeah,
to be honest.
you're more into your horrors than me as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so that's one for me.
And then we had Sackboy: The Big Adventure. Now I texted you when this was going on. I was like, "Fuck yeah, Little Big Planet's back." You know, as soon as I seen Sackboy, I was like, "Yeah." And then it just kind of looked.
And then followed by a yawn.
Yeah, it just kind of all my interest just kind of just died. Like,
I think this is where we kind of dragged on, like the mediocre ones.
Yeah,
I know I'm judging it before I played them, but
man,
for what was on offer, I was like, I mean, it's okay.
Little Big Planet game all about creativity and expression and customization. And then this Sackboy game comes out. It's called Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and it's by Sumo Digital. I think are the people who made Little Big Planet 3. So I was like, well, we're going to expand on the Little Big Planet idea. And then it looked like almost an endless runner. I was just like,
yeah,
this looks like a phone game. This is not a PS5 game. I was like, where's the creativity? What's happened here? That was a bit disappointing. That was my first disappointment of the night.
But not the last.
Well, no, not the last. Next up, we had, what's this called? Destruction Allstars. So this was like a Rocket League Carmageddon meets Fortnite type game. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, definitely Fortnite graphics.
Yeah, the Fortnite
sort of Rocket League sort of gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like if the two of them came together and had a baby, that would be it.
Exactly. It looks simple enough. Like it's, you're in cars and the cars have weapons and you kind of destroy other cars. You can tell they're going after that Rocket League sort of niche market that really blew up, and they're trying to get the Fortnite people in there as well.
Just kids and pre-teens and teenagers. That's their game.
Yeah,
you have at least one.
No, it's not really one for me. But you never know. It might catch on. Might be a surprise hit. Were you thrilled on it yourself, or?
No. To be honest, not my cup of tea, I guess.
So next we have a light among the darkness. Like we're kind of in a bit of a low stage, but this next game really perked me up. So it caught my eye whenever the people came out from Ember Lab and said, we've got a background in film and animation. And I thought, okay, we're going to, people coming from a more cinematic storytelling point of view. And this game, Kina, just looks absolutely beautiful. It looks a bit like Kubo and the Two Strings, the movie. You play as a warrior girl. There's like these little creatures. I don't even know how to describe them, little ball creatures that look really cool.
Like trilbies?
Yeah, little trilbies.
Trilbits?
Trilbits, I think you're right. And it just looks like just an awesome warrior fantasy thing. It's a bit like Brave as well, and the Pixar movie. And it just looks stunning. Like, oh man, the cutscenes and it just looked like a $200 million. Oh my goodness. Let me just say that again, because that was the drink talking. It looked like a $200 million animated movie. It really looked incredible. And the gameplay looked awesome. That one of my highlights of the show.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought I was watching a film, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so next we had a 2D cell shaded game called Dinosaur Skull Musical. That looked weird. Do you remember that?
Was that the Goodbye Volcano High? Is that the one you're thinking?
Oh, sorry. That's my notes saying it looks like a dinosaur.
That's how much you were enjoying it. You gave it like a completely new name.
That's how much I've drank, Ollie. That's how much I've drank. I'm sailing with Captain Morgan during this. Sorry, it's called the dev team's co-op, and it's called Goodbye Volcano High 2021, and there's no gameplay, which is really frustrating.
Is it a game? Is it definitely a game? Like, I know it's PS5, but it didn't look like a game.
I don't know. It could be a choice-based thing. It could be like
like Telltale games.
It could be. I don't know. And like, that's a problem. Not seeing any gameplay was a bit frustrating at a console reveal, and it's not like the graphics blew us away or the story. There was nothing there that excited me. It just looked I mean,
I have no idea what it's about.
Dinosaur Skull Musical is what I've wrote, and I think we'll go with that. It's Dinosaur Skull Musical. Okay. And then we go on to Oddworld Soulstorm. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of Abe's Odyssey or Abe's Exodus. I think I played maybe a bit of one of them in the PlayStation 1. This one looks like it's got a good story, good graphics. I mean, the gameplay doesn't really sort of appeal to me that much. It looks like something I'll probably never play, but I'm pleased for people who like Oddworld. I know there's fans out there. Is it your cup of tea, or?
I've never played them at all, and I'm probably going to get chastised by our viewers.
No.
Our listeners.
So we go on to Tango Gameworks, I think is the developers, and this is Ghostwire Tokyo. Do you remember this one? It's a mystery horror game set in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have anything to say about that one?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, nor do I. Again, there may be people out there who are excited for it, and it might be really good, because these indie games like will have their fans, and there'll be people who are like into that type of game who'll be like, yes. Not quite our cup of tea, but that's one of the good things about this conference. It had a little sort of bit for everyone. The stuff, the big bombastic AAA stuff that appeals to us, and also these little sprinkle of indie games that appeal to other people. So yeah, absolutely, no disrespect. The next game looks like complete fucking shit. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Oh yes. So next up we have what's it called? Jet the Far. What? Jet the Far? Is that what it's called?
Should we just skip this one?
Let me look. Google what it's called. Oh, Jet the Far Shore. I couldn't read my writing there. Sorry. Super Brothers or development team sci-fi spaceship thing. It looks a bit like No Man's Sky, so that sort of made me feel a bit burned. Yeah, it seemed like a space exploration game.
Yeah.
If you're into that. Next up, we had Godfall. So Godfall was announced quite a while ago. I don't even know if this was the first gameplay that we've seen. It's by Gearbox, people who made Borderlands, and I didn't see anything wow about it at all. It didn't look like a PS5 and next gen game. It just looked like a standard slash 'em up, a bit like Monster Hunter or something, or I don't know. Just wasn't really dying on it.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm very into story driven, character driven games. So that's, I mean, it could be wrong, but that wouldn't be my sort of cup of tea. I mean, it didn't look bad.
No, it didn't. Nothing looked bad. Next up, we had the Hyperlight Drifter dev team, a cel-shaded type game called Solar Ash, which came in 2021, and it looks a lot like Journey. Looked very nice, but a bit frustrated we didn't get to see more from it. I feel like whenever you've got a console reveal and you're showing games that are coming out in like not this year but next year or the year before, you kind of got to keep the time minimum. You got to show people what's coming soon, or if you're going to show people stuff that's coming in the far future, it has to be wow. And this game, we didn't see much from it, so I was a bit, wasn't that effective for me. But it looked nice, and Journey's amazing. If it's as good as Journey, then great. Any thoughts on that one yourself?
No, I agree with you completely. To be honest, it was just okay.
So next up, we got a game that I know that you're excited for. So we got Hitman 3 from IO Interactive, coming January 2021. What do you think of that one, Ollie?
I can't wait. I think it looks great, to be honest. Just the graphics just look so, again, looks like a film, to be honest.
No.
I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what we were going to get, and then I love the Hitman games, going back to the ones for the PS2.
Actually, when we seen a wee bit of gameplay, and he was in Dubai, I was like, this is like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, the one where he's on the side of the building in Dubai, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's a cool setting to have.
Yeah.
Something different.
I haven't really got into Hitman games, so I don't know if it looks much better, but if yourself, if you're excited for it, then I'm excited for you. What have we got? Oh, yes. So next up we have Astrobot's Playroom. So we've had Astrobot before, and we've had the Playroom before, but now we've got Astrobot's Playroom. And man, the Playroom games and the Astrobot game that came out for PSVR are fantastic. They're so fun. And I assume that this Astrobot Playroom, it's coming free with the PlayStation 5 because the Playroom came with PS4.
Yeah.
Don't know that for sure because Astrobot itself for PSVR was a paid for game. But what Sony Japan do is they make these Astrobot / Playroom games essentially as tech demos to show off what the console can do, what the controller can do, what VR can do, what the hardware can do. Astrobot VR is hands down the best VR game. It just really shows just everything that the hardware can do. So I think with the DualSense having a whole load of extra features, this is exciting. It's a game that's going to show off and introduce everyone to all the new features that it's got. So I was excited for that. I know it's not for everyone, but this next game I've got a smiley face down beside. It's the developers are called Neostream. I think it's new stream. I really wish I had legible writing, and it's called Little Devil Inside. And this is the game where it's all stylized. The characters look like not chibis, but sort of simplified cartoons. But it looks like a big sprawling adventure game. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. That looked amazing.
It feels to me like it's an indie game. It's not a big AAA game, and it kind of reminded me that damn, there's some great indie games out there. Sadly, I don't play the majority. I don't play that many.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we should probably start.
An indie game really needs to do a lot to stand out, to get people, noticing it, because there's such competition. And I feel that there was a lot of indie games on display here, but Little Devil Inside really did stand out from the showcase. I was like, that's an indie game that I really want to play. It's on my list. Yeah. So, and here we go, our first generic sports title of the night, NBA 2K21. Ollie, did you feel anything during this?
I've never really played the NBA games, so I can't say it, but I know it'll be a big hit, to be honest. I just know.
Ollie, you could probably pick up any NBA from the last 20 years, and I'm sure it's the same. Like, it's like FIFA. I'm sure it's just churning it out. I didn't even see any gameplay from it. It was a bit like, just see some sweaty guy at a basketball court. If you're gonna show us NBA, at least show us something. Show us some graphics, or like show us some gameplay or something. But there you go. That was my nap time. But anyway, the low point was over. We're at the good part of the shit sandwich now. We're back to the strong finish. We have Bug Snacks. The biggest surprise for the entire night for me was Bug Snacks from Young Horses, who made Octodad, which I think is one of the funniest games of all time. A little strawberry comes to life, runs about, and just goes strawberry, and gets eaten by some like New Zealander, who then turns into a strawberry, and then you realize that there's little bits of feckin' food running around everywhere and getting it, and it's got this amazing song which I can't get out of my head. Ollie, what do you think of Bug Snacks?
I feel like that'll be one we'll need to play with a few drinks.
As soon as that was announced, I was just like, right, where can I pre-order the PS5? Like, where is this on sale, and can I get a credit card? So next up we had Demon Souls, which
fake Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, exactly. Bluepoint's doing it, so I assume that means it's a remaster. That's all kind of Bluepoint do. Amazing at doing remasters and remakes, but I don't even know if this is a new game or a remaster. Do you know anything about Demon Souls?
No idea. No, but it looked pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah, looked fun. I was presented by Shuhei Yoshida, one of the good guys in PlayStation, one of the best guys. Oh man, I miss the days when it was just Shuhei up on stage announcing this kind of stuff. But in Shuhei we trust. Next up was, oh yes, you were interested in this one. Arcane Studios, presented by Bethesda, Deathloop.
Yeah, that looked amazing.
The second game of the night that had like a death and repeat system. So yeah, do you want to take this one, or what do you think of it?
It looks incredible. The whole sort of assassins going through a time loop thing looked, and like the graphics as well, the gameplay looked incredible.
Is this something you would pick up?
Yeah, very stylistic. I think very sort of noir, sort of. Yeah, the gameplay looked great. Just a whole lot of fun, to be honest, but also character driven as well, which I like. Yeah, I can't wait. It's definitely on my top 5 to get.
Yeah, nice stylish trailer. First person as well. It's a bit of a surprise. Didn't know anything about it. Don't know if it's my type of game. I have to see more. But I'm glad you were into it. Next up, so we seen a horror, and I messaged you, and I was like, dude, it's Silent Hill. Konami have done it. They've fucking done it. They've run out of ideas, and they're doing Silent Hill.
I mean, that was on my wish list. I was like, I want Silent Hill. I want the remake of Silent Hill.
I was like, that's it.
But I'm happy with what we got.
This wasn't on your wish list. Did you not want a new Resi Evil, or did you just not think it would happen?
I did. Like, I knew they were kind of making one, but I didn't think it would be so soon. Like, I heard rumors of Resi Evil 8 and like rumors of characters and stuff, and I was like, yeah, like I can't wait. I don't know when. I mean, I was like, life's not that good. I'm not going to get another Resi Evil right away.
So we have Resi Evil 8 Village.
Yeah.
And there's some guy called Chris in it. I don't know anything about Resi Evil. Who's Chris?
Chris is a protagonist in the first game. And he's also in the 5th game. So he's like a main character in the whole saga.
Is that Chris Redfield?
That is, yes.
Okay, I've heard that name before.
But in this, I think you play as Ethan, who is the protagonist in Resi Evil Biohazard, which was the last game.
Okay, cool. Was that Resi Evil 7? or was that
Yeah.
a spin-off? Or okay.
That was Resi Evil 7.
So what were your thoughts on seeing Resi Evil 8? Are you excited for it or?
Oh, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
That was my highlight.
Okay.
Between Spider-Man and Resi 8. Holy shit. Like I said, because we were like Silent Hill, and I was like, no, that's Resi Evil, baby. That is the RE engine. First person game like Resident Evil 7, which I like. Definitely makes things a lot more terrifying, to be honest.
I imagine so.
Something very different. Like it seems to be like a sort of cult involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like a werewolf style creature, which
it looked like it.
Is new for Resident Evil. But I suppose, new times, new game, have to change up. But for me, that's a welcome change. It doesn't always need to be about zombies.
Yes. Okay, so we'll come back to Resi Evil at the end, because I want to bring it back to that at the end. Something else I want to say about it. Next up, we have a future sci-fi game, which looked like a kind of robotic, futuristic Times Square almost. An astronaut or something, and a robot girl, a robot cat. I think it's called Pragmata. Yeah, Pragmata, if I can read my writing right. And it ended with an awesome shot of the moon looking at the Earth. And this is a 2022 game, so quite a bit away. Reminded me a wee bit of Death Stranding meets maybe Detroit Become Human. Frustrated me that it's so far away, and we didn't have any gameplay. So that makes me think that this is a game that is Sony are going to be pumping money into. This is going to be like your next big AAA for down the line. This is a game. It's going to be the level of maybe Detroit or Death Stranding. And they're just kind of playing a little bit coy, but they want to plant the seed early. So
sort of like kind of remember like Cyberpunk 2. That was a game that's been in development for years. Just you kind of got like tidbits here and there until like you finally got the gameplay last year. Last year, was it?
Yeah.
Or early this year?
Can't remember. I think it was last year, but I think it's gonna be one that we're gonna see a lot at these reveals and PlayStation Directs, whatever they're called. Okay. Here we go. So whenever we seen the next one, I texted you and I was just like, this is it, and it was Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Hallelujah, and it looks unbelievable. So it's called Horizon. I think it's Forbidden West. It looks like it takes the world of Horizon and completely expands on it. And dude, you want a showcase of what PS5 can do? Holy crap, like just the environments and how much is going on. Oh, the graphical fidelity, like that brought a tear to my eye. Just Horizon 2 looks incredible. You've got these new giant machines. You've got like a mammoth. Aloy's in the water and there's crocodiles around her. And it just looks like it really does expand on the world and the lore, and just goes deeper. And it's everything I could have hoped for. There's fucking dragons, man. There's dragons,
As soon as I seen that, you were like, yes, Horizon, fuck yes. I was like, yeah. No,
in my notes, I literally wasted half a page just writing, fuck yes. Apocalyptic cities, you've got Silence is back, it's the bad guy. You've got other people converting machines. You've got, Aloy riding different types of machines. Now, as someone who hasn't got into Horizon yourself, what did you think about the look of this game?
It looked amazing. I need to play it. I need to really play the first one. I know I do. Like, I know everyone listening is screaming at me, and I will, I promise.
Fair play. But did you think, like, looking at it when you were watching the trailer, did you think this is, this looks good, or were you just like, is this something I'm not really into, or did you think it looks?
No, it looked great.
Yeah. No,
like so much so it's made me want to play the first one.
Man, that's
kind of being like, I'll get around it at some time, because a game I sort of need to play, to being like, no, I need to play that because I need to complete it because I want to play the second one.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm so in. So what have we got? Last up. So that was the big bang and the last game. Then we finished with our first look at the console itself. So Ollie, what did you think about the console?
Yeah, very surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I think it'll grow on me, definitely. Not what I was expecting, to be honest, at all.
No, they've really embraced the whole white thing. When they revealed the controller and it had that weird white kind of shell, I thought, well, it's probably just a different, like, you can probably get a white one, but, you can probably get the black one as well, and that's just like an alternate one. But no, the whole console's white, and I'm not opposed to change, but that thing's going to look dirty pretty soon. It's
Yeah.
going to look,
It didn't feel like a PlayStation console.
No, it looks like
Would be the best description.
it looks like it's trying to be futuristic. And
Yeah.
you've got the Xbox Series X, just looks like a computer. It just looks like a block, and it's maybe a little boring. But I feel this PlayStation thing, just with the curves and all, I feel in a couple of years' time that's going to look pretty dated. And what annoyed me was the way it's curved. You can't put anything on top of it, and I doubt you can even lie it down flat. I don't know that, but if you've got that in your cabinet, you can't exactly put another console on top of it.
Yeah.
If you can't lie it down flat, that's a bit of an issue. I can't really stand something up on the floor.
Which is what I like about the PS4 and most of the other ones we've gone. You can have them vertical or on a side, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
But this is going to be very rigid, I think.
Yeah, and the other ones kind of just blend in, whereas this sort of stands out, and I don't know if that's a good thing yet. So the next reveal made me a wee bit sick, which was there's two different types of PS5. There is the one with the 4K Blu-ray, and then there's the all digital. And oh no, I know that's the way the industry's going, but I don't want to say goodbye to discs yet, and I don't feel we're at that point yet where we can, because dude, these hard drives aren't big enough. The PS5's coming with a 800 gigabyte hard drive, but games for PS4 are 40, 50 gigabytes each.
Yeah.
Even updates now, the new Call of Duty updates 80 gigabyte. So at least if you've got a disc, some of that information stays on there. You don't have to put all the information on your hard drive. So I don't feel we've got a hard drive big enough that we can have all downloads, because we'll have to delete.
Especially when you think of the scope and scale of the games we're getting. I mean, Horizon's going to be a big game.
Yeah,
it's going to take a good chunk. And
exactly.
Resident Evil 2 and Grant, they're all going to be massive games.
Plus, I love my physical media, because movies are better on physical media like Blu-rays than they are streaming. You can get a 4K stream of a movie that won't look as good as a 1080p Blu-ray. So obviously I'm sad for the loss of physical media, but it's not just that. The console, actually, the all digital one looks better because it hasn't got a big horrible bump on it where the Blu-ray drive is. So I thought
it's like Sophie's choice.
Yeah, exactly. So then I was a wee bit sad that we're launching with those two off the bat. I thought it might be well, they'll do the all digital one later on, but I guess that's the way the industry's going. Goodbye physical media. That was the conference itself. Jeez, we certainly went through all of it,
Yeah.
Every last bit. No stone unturned here. Ollie, I don't even think I need to ask, but your highlight of the show?
It has to be Resident Evil.
Yeah, it has to be. And one thing that is interesting about Resi Evil is at the very end of the show, they showed off some accessories of the PS5. I can't remember. It was like a fucking charging cable or something. But one of the accessories was an HD camera. Now, why would they need an HD camera for VR? So it annoys me that they didn't go all in and say, look, here's VR off the bat. But I think it's fairly obvious that VR is coming. So Resi Evil could be playable in VR. Will you be doing that?
Definitely, yeah.
That would scare the tits off me.
I mean, I'm going to probably have to drink during it if it's VR.
I don't think that would make it any better. I think I'd be terrified if I was drinking through that. There you go, Resi Evil. Any other particular highlights? Maybe one or two.
I mean, Spider-Man. Has to be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. So as for my highlights, you know what it is already. It's obviously Horizon. Horizon looks better than I ever thought it could look. It looks like one of the biggest and just best games that I could have seen. I really do think it just looks fantastic. A lot of the games that we've seen did look amazing, but they didn't look mind-blowingly above what a PS4 could do. If you look at The Last of Us Part 2, it looks incredible. And it's it's such a level that a lot of the games just kind of looked sort of around that level, or at least in the ballpark. But when I seen Horizon 2, I was like, that's it. I would say Spider-Man was a highlight, and I'm not going to forget Bug Snacks for a while. Bug Snacks just looks fantastic. So there you go. That was it. We're done. Overall, I had a great time. I enjoyed it.
Me too. I really can't wait.
This holiday, probably going to need to take out a mortgage to buy it, but
start saving now, guys.
PS4 came out and it was $350. I think this could be $500. I mean, we're 7 odd years after PS4, so well, there we go. And Ollie, until the next one, I've been Scott, and this has been Ollie.
Adios.
Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you soon.